All right. It's time to get into the meat and potatoes, baby. Getting efficient. Exactly where to meet amazing women. Now, just like I said before, it's just as important for me to tell you where not to meet women as it is to tell you where to meet women. Now, what I don't want you to do is I don't want you to meet women at bars and clubs randomly. Unless, of course, you really, really enjoy talking to random women at loud bars and clubs. If I'm not joking, if you like that, then do that. I generally don't love that. I could do it and I could have a fun time because I've trained myself to really love it, but it's not my first preference. It's actually my last preference. There's so many other things to do, and this is what I'm going to teach you. The second thing is don't drink. Now, this is interesting. You may be like, well, won't it be weird if I'm the only one not drinking? Or I'll feel insecure if I don't drink. Now, listen. The stuff I'm going to teach you is going to get rid of that. But mainly, the reasons why I don't drink is because I want to be the sharpest person in the room. And drinking, it doesn't make me more confident. It makes me feel weird, insecure in my head. It gives me a delay when I talk to somebody, so I can't as quickly react to them. I can't as easily perceive how they're feeling and what's going on in their head and how they react to me. So I'm not quick. I'm not sharp. And I understand the concept of, my philosophy of why people drink is because everyone is at a different level when they go into a room, but when they drink, they all lower themselves onto the same plane of interaction. Now, it's my ego that I don't want to be on the same plane as everyone else. I want to be better than everyone. When I walk into the room, I want to be the best person there. So me not drinking, it enables me to be the sharpest, the most interesting. It's just it. Now, generally, bars and clubs are meant for partying with your good friends. People don't go to bars and clubs generally, women especially, to meet a guy. Yes, I know you're going to say, oh yeah, I know there's girls that do. The best ones, they're generally not doing that. They're generally to go party with their friends. And that's why people's guards are up towards strangers. They get defensive. It's difficult to connect among the loudness, the people, and the speed. Why do I want to do that? Now, because of this, pickup artists and your friends and movies have created characters to try to cut through the noise. It becomes an entire battle on its own. It's like method acting. Think about it. What pickup artists are telling you to do, dating coaches, your friends are telling you to do is say, all right, well, because there's a lot of women in this place at this time, and they're all drunk, so their inhibitions are down. Despite the fact that it's incredibly loud, it's incredibly packed, it's not very enjoyable, and people generally don't want to meet new people for no reason. We have created a new persona, a character, tricks and tactics for you to jump over that hump, to do what you weren't really meant to do and things that you don't want to do in order to win the game that we have created for you. All that easy stuff, all that stuff, the natural way to meet people, we're going to hide that and just give you the challenging part, because the challenge feels like, well, when you have something to strive towards, it feels more exciting. It feels like you're actually doing something of value, going to win something. You know what that makes me feel like? Makes me feel like boring. I don't want to have to go win something. A woman is not something to win. That's too much work. I just want to meet a cool girl that's really cute and that I can have sex with and date and marry. That's it. That's all I want to do, baby. Now, amazing hot women don't go to clubs to look for guys to date or to hook up with. They go to have fun with friends. Now, I'm going to talk more on that later. Let's move on. So, you know what not to do. So then where? Where do you go? What do you do? And I want to make it as simple as possible for you. So, if you don't remember anything from this section, here's your general rule of thumb, guys. Find people as close to you as possible. And that doesn't really mean physically close to you. It really means on a personality base. Who you are. As close to who you are as possible. So, you already have a natural system inside of you ready to be used. If your name's John, it's the John system. I'm Anthony, and I wouldn't use the John system. I have a completely different personality. I use the Anthony system. The secret is knowing to connect with that. It's called self-awareness. Self-awareness is the absolute basis of where we're about to go. If you don't know yourself, then please don't try to create some type of persona for women. I urge you to get to know yourself. It's much easier, much quicker to do. It's already there. You just have to look. Now, I know myself really, really fucking well. This self-awareness is knowing who you are as a person, what your personality is like. Now, this means your sense of humor. Do you like Adam Sandler movies or that type of humor, or do you like Wes Anderson type of humor? Your interest in intellectual or experiential. Basically, are you book smart or are you street smart? Your interest in art smart versus math smart. Are you art smart versus math smart? I'm more art smart. Your interest in trendy versus unusual. And, be honest with yourself here. There's guys that really like, grabbing onto trends, basically. Like, here's an example. Like, lately, people like to grow a nice big beard. They like to shave the sides of their head and keep it long on top. Maybe have a man bun, have tattoos. That's a trend. And don't be ashamed of saying that you enjoy trends. That's just how your personality was made. I personally like being unusual. I like being weird. I like being on the fringes. It's just how my DNA was made ever since I was a kid. That's how I was. I like purposely staying away from trends. And I'm not saying all the time. There's some trends that I say, oh, I actually like that. I want to kind of chill with that. But a lot of me likes to push away from trends. That's just who I am. And it's important to know that about yourself. Also, are you a liberal or conservative? And this is funny, but generally I find that people that are liberal have those similar personalities, and people that are conservative have similar personalities. But I generally find a big way to figure out chemistry between two people is a sense of humor, a similar sense of humor. Okay, so now that you've figured out who you are, I want you to take that and follow your intuition. Meet people where it's natural for your personality to meet people. I moved from New York City to LA in 2016. Now, I left everything because I had a compulsion. Something inside me said to do it. I know who I am. I checked out LA earlier, like a year earlier, and I go, oof, this fits. This feels right to me. What did I do? I didn't bullshit. I didn't fuss around. I just left. I left everything because I had a compulsion. It was a natural attraction. And it ends up, guess what? I actually do connect better and more quickly with people here. People are more my type here. Now, if you separated them from their celebrity, do you think Javier Bardem or Christian Bale would go to bars to prowl for women? I know you used to go, oh, they're celebs, so they wouldn't do that. But take them away from their celebrity status and just their personalities and what they look like, who they are. Do you think those are the type of personalities that would go prowling for women at bars? No. They're probably already interesting guys with interesting lifestyles, interesting social circles that they enjoy, and they meet women in those social circles naturally. They don't have to try hard to do so. Think about how simple that is, guys. Now, where do you start? Like I said, I want you to start from the least amount of effort. I want you to start what's closest to you and then move from there. So, I know this is going to sound really, really, really obvious, but you don't do it. Start with your friends. Oh, You know, like I know a lot of guys that are kind of creepy and they like prowling for women. They go to places where they're never going to see people that they know because they want to be the creep. They want to just bang the girl and get out. And, you know, they don't want to actually make connections with people. They don't actually want a rich social circle or a rich dating life. They kind of want to just play the game. That works to your disadvantage, my friend. Now, ask yourself, who do you usually hang out with? Who do they hang out with? There's always going to be a network of people that your friends know that are similar to you. Because if you're friends with this person, they're generally going to be having friends that are similar to themselves and to you. So it's an easy connect. You don't have to work to do it. To make friends with their friends is very easy. The regular rule of thumb is just be more social with your friends and your acquaintances. The idea is that you're more likely to easily connect with people that are friends with your friends because you already relate to most things. Do you see what I mean by dead simple natural system for filtering out all the wrong people and filtering in all the right people? You're not even in this system, you're not even meeting the wrong people. So your self-esteem isn't going to be crashing to the ground all the time. You're never going to feel out of place. You're never going to feel rejected because you're always at least on a similar level playing field with people. You're always at least going to be being friendly with people, making friends with people. When you do that, you're more likely to express yourself authentically because you're not scared of getting rejected, which makes you more attractive, which in turn makes you hooking up and relating and dating great women.
Oh man, wait a second. This is so easy. I thought there was like I want like that game, dude. I want to win something. I want to fight something. I want to get better. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, I don't want that. I don't want to play a game. That's hard. I don't want to work. Also, it brings worse results than the method that I'm teaching you. Why? Because you have to fight against your natural inclinations. You have to create a whole new personality and persona. Oh, fuck. I don't want to do that work. If I wanted to do that, I would be an actor. To learn method acting. To be somebody else. We already have our natural, primal system for doing it. It's right here, baby. Now, you meet these people, you meet new women. Invite these new women friends to hang out with you doing whatever. What do I like naturally doing? I love street photography. I'd invite them to go do street photography with me. Maybe go see a movie with me. See an old movie at my apartment with me. Go food shopping with me. Go to the beach with me. Friendly things. Simple. I'm networking with women that I have interest in, that they have interest with me because we have like-minded interests, and we could be attracted to each other from there. And there's going to be more on that later. Okay, now, cool thing is parties. The next way in your natural system is to go to parties that your friends, acquaintances, and friends of friends throw. Even friends of friends of friends. Once you're at a party, the great thing is you could always say you know the person that's hosting it. Be like, oh, I know Lily. And then you're immediately seen as a new acquaintance, and that could be a potential friend. Do you see how easy this is? Do you see how there's no more approach anxiety? There's no more, oh, I have to get her attracted to me. You're already similar people. You already know the same people. It's easy. Now, how do you make this dead simple, guys? Facebook events. Facebook is always posting and showing you the events, inviting you to the events that your friends are throwing. Now, let's say you have a friend named Lily that is going to her friend's birthday party that weekend. Maybe you're not invited, but you could go, yo, Lily, I have nothing to do this weekend. I'm just interested in meeting new people. Could I come along? Simple. Use Facebook for going to parties that your friends are having or that are going to, attending. This is the easy way to make friends with new people. And I'm going to get deeper and deeper into this as this program goes, guys. We're only setting a base here right now. So, where do you start apart from the Facebooks? And okay, because remember, right now we're going one step further away from what's closest to you. Whereas what's closest to you is your friends and your best friends, their network. Just network with their friends. Simple. Okay, but then we had parties and the friends of friends of friends. And that's the next step. But where's the next step further? Well, meetups and networking events. And now this sounds a little too far, but I'm going to show you how specific it gets. Now, meetup.com is great because you can get really specific with continuous meetups that are, like I said, very specific to your interests. Now listen, if you like board games, don't be shy of going to board game meetups. You know, if you like Dungeons and Dragons, go to a Dungeons and Dragons meetup. Now, you may not meet your soulmate there, but you can meet a guy that knows people that you can network from there. Or you can meet a girl that you really maybe not attracted to, but you connect with, and then suddenly you're in her social network. You see how simple it is? You see how simple, because it's like, now I just made a friend that probably has friends that are similar to me and similar to her. So once again, there's no anxiety built up. It's all gravy. It's all smooth. There's no work involved. It's all very just flowing downstream. Now, I found the next best meetups on meetup.com to go to meet great women are sports. People in their 20s and 30s, they love intramural weekly sports teams on meetups. And, you know, also I think it's like Zog Sports. The great part about this is women love to do it. They love doing the volleyball or the kickball or playing soccer or, you know, flag football or whatever. They love doing these because afterwards everybody usually goes to the bar and connects. It's a great place to have a natural social circle already embedded instantly. As long as you're a cool guy, a nice person, people are going to be open to meeting you and connecting you with their social circle. Simple, guys. It's so simple. Now, the next step away from that is just general social mixers. There'll be things like dating in your 20s meetup group, and they do that maybe once a month or every week. And it's just a singles mixer, and it's not the most specific, but at least everybody is really open to meeting new people, and they're always bringing a friend along, and it's always fun. So, I mean, it's not as specific as, you know, those specific meetups I told you to do, but at least it's an open thing, and it's easy to do. You know, people want to meet you. Now, whoo, baby, this website is outstanding. I used this for all my years in New York, and I'm starting to use it now in Los Angeles. Guest of a guest. This is an event website, but it's not just shitty events. It's cool events, and it's always things like launch parties, like if a new app is launching or a magazine is launching or there's a gala or there's gonna be a lot of invite only and high ticket events, but among those there's also going to be free events that you can go to, and this is every day. The one thing is, it's in, some of these things are going to only be in specific places like major cities, major metropolitan areas, but if you're in a city, I have brought my clients on many, many guest of a guest events. I love this website. Use this. Now, Eventbrite is good for unusual events. Now, you think Eventbrite is just a ticketing platform, but you didn't know that they actually have a rich search engine for all of these events that they have that you could just search and go to. Now, this is going to be kind of more of the off the beaten path type events and parties, but those are the things that I like. You can get sometimes pretty specific. Sometimes you get kind of weird, like just business networking events on Eventbrite, but that's okay because once again, it's better than going to a bar. But I remember the last event I went on Eventbrite is I literally just searched Eventbrite and I saw jazz fish fry event in New York. I brought my client and we had a great time. We met people there. We met new people there. It was fun. It was interesting. And what was it? It was jazz music, like improv jazz music and fried fish somewhere in like Bed-Stuy, Brooklyn. But like, I love those off the beaten path events. That's so much more interesting than just a loud club. Eventbrite. Okay, now this is something I haven't yet done, but Airbnb experiences. This is new. It's either 2017 new or late 2016 new. Airbnb is doing something interesting. They don't just want you to have a nice stay in a new place, in a new city, in the world, but they actually want you to feel part of the culture, embedded into the culture. And the great part is you don't have to be traveling to experience these experiences. So I live in Los Angeles, and I could check out the Airbnb experiences in Los Angeles. Like I said, I'm into photography, so I use that as an example. There could be it's usually some type of class or a tour, but it's very casual. It's not meant to be a sit-down type of thing. So there'll be an expert, an LA expert that'll bring a group of people around the city to do street photography and look at photography, look at art around the city. And the great part about it is it's usually in small groups. So it's usually people that are, groups of 5, groups of 10, 12, really not much more than that. And because of that, it allows you to connect with people on a more intimate level. I'm really excited to try this out. Haven't tried it out yet. Next one is A Small World. A Small World is really cool. It's a very, it's an exclusive social network for jet setters and travelers. But the cool thing about it is, and listen, I dated an amazing woman from A Small World. It's a social network, but what's really cool about it is they have parties, I think every week, every month. And this is in big cities, but if you live in a big city, you don't even have to pay for the membership for A Small World, the small membership fee. You could just be on their mailing list and they'll send you the events all over the world that are happening every week. And all you have to do is just go to the venue that it's being held at on the date and time. Say, I'm with A Small World, and you'll go in and you'll meet all of these really interesting people. It's usually people that, like I said, are travelers, world travelers, business travelers. So you meet interesting, high-value people. And once again, they have these events in really cool bars and clubs. But the great part is that the place is closed off for the party itself, for this event itself. So it's brought tons of clients, and a lot of clients have met a lot of great women at these events. Now, this is another thing I haven't done, but I'm really excited to try it. It's called Eat With. I spelled it wrong, Eat With. But eatwith.com is dinner parties. What's cool about dinner parties is, hold on, let me take a drink. It's very intimate and it's very relaxed and casual. And you get to meet interesting people at a dinner table. So the connections could be really strong and built there. And if you find somebody that you're attracted to or at least interested in, once again, it's a way to connect with somebody's social circle. I can't stress enough the value in making friends with your friends or potential friends. It is so much easier. Let's move on. Now, here's something that I use all the time, especially when I'm coaching clients. Art gallery openings are like the sweet magic of meeting new people in an easy way. It's the perfect replacement for going to a bar or club. Now, the website I love using is artcards.cc. Again, this website is going to be specific probably to the major metropolitan areas, but I'm sure you could find art gallery openings anywhere in your general vicinity. Now, you may not be an art person. I hope you are, because most people I work with are similar to me. And but if this isn't for you, that's okay. You should still go anyway, and check it out, because it's just so easy to meet people. But for me, it's the perfect place to meet new women and even just friends. People are coming from all walks of life, and they're usually interesting and artistic. You have the perfect opportunity to be yourself and connect with somebody. Why? Because everybody at these art galleries, it's just so easy. Everyone's trying to meet people. People really go to art gallery openings to socialize. They don't really go to buy art. They go to look at some art, they bring a friend, and they mostly chat with people. There's usually free drinks. You're not going to be drinking, but they are, and usually free food. The music is nice and relaxed. It's the perfect... Here's another thing. There's a common conversation topic, so even if you're not the best conversationalist, all you got to do is go up to a art piece that somebody's looking at and just go, oh, so what do you think of this? They say what they think. You say what you think. Oh, I actually agree with you, or I actually don't agree with you. I think it's like this. And then from there, you have a new acquaintance. You could say, oh, hi, I'm John. Nice to meet you. Who are you here with, or what made you want to come to this? And then instantly a connection is made. Yeah, I kind of touched upon all the rest of the points. Let's move on. But yeah, guys, art gallery openings, mod on, perfect. Now, woo-wee, baby, my favorite way to meet great women, and most people aren't going to teach you this. This is my little secret, and I think I have dated and hooked up with more women by doing this secret than any other type of event or where to meet women type of thing I have ever taught or come up with. This is like magic. Here it is. Hold your own parties. That's it. And you may think, oh, that's hard, or I can't. How do I hold my own parties? Or I'm going to make it really simple for you guys. Oh, this is amazing. Anyway, here we go. The cool things about holding your own parties. Number one, really, you get to design it exactly your way and control the variables. You could have any type of party you want. You don't have to have parties that other people have that you don't like. You have your own kind of party. Now, what else? The host is the dopest. That's true. The host of the party is usually the coolest person there, the most looked up to person there. He's like, why? He's the man in power. He has all these people that have come, and he's created this value for everybody. So, it's so funny how when I hold parties, how cool I look to all of the women that I meet. It's funny how it's just like this weird switch that goes off. It's like, oh, this is, I remember going to parties and that of people that I didn't know, and I would always hear about the host. Oh, Josh is so cool. Josh, oh, cool, Josh. And I would go and meet Josh, and he was like this little turd, and I was like, wow. But because he hosts parties, there's just something kind of edgy about him, kind of sweet about him, you know what I'm saying? Now, now you control the variables. You could get your friends to help organize the parties. And I'm going to tell you, once you kind of communicate the value of what parties are to your friends, they're going to want to help out. You can get one friend to bartend. When I was holding parties, this is exactly what I did. I had a friend bartend for free. I said, you get all the tips. We had a little tip jar. He made the money from the tips. That was it. Another friend could be the DJ. Everybody wants to be the DJ. On occasion, you could have a bouncer. I had bouncers to some of my parties. Another friend helped get alcohol. Even when all the alcohol ran out at a party, one of the friends was like, I'll go get it. And I was like, man, wow. But people love providing value in a party. It makes them feel good, and they like impressing the host if it's a cool party. Um, if you have a female friend or any friend that likes designing things, that has an artistic personality, ask them to help design the party with you. This one girl that I started dating when I started holding parties, she loved, going to certain stores and help designing the party with me. It was a really great way to connect and eventually start a relationship with her. Now, where do you market your parties? Now, that's the next thing. Eventbrite is actually a good way, first of all. Eventbrite, people actually use that search engine, and there's been a lot of people that have come to my parties just off of Eventbrite, and I'm going to get more interesting with it. Guys, there's some funny stories I have. But if you're in New York, here's a great example. If you're in New York City, Nonsense NYC is amazing. Now, I didn't want to mention this in the last slide because I wanted to save it for now. Nonsense NYC is a weekly newsletter of unusual events and parties happening in New York City. The great thing is you could submit your unusual event or party. It can't just be John's birthday party. It has to be something interesting and unique, and they will post it. And thousands of interesting people in New York City know about and are subscribed to this newsletter, and they go to parties. I'm telling you, I've used it. I'm going to get further into it now. Now, inviting people to your parties is the hardest part of holding the party itself. It's not setting up. It's not getting everything together. That's kind of hard. It's not making sure everyone's having a good time. That's a little bit of a challenge. The hardest part is getting your friends there. This sounds like the easiest part. It's not. Friends don't just come to a party. Their millennial brains would rather stay home and watch Netflix or waste time swiping on Tinder. I'm telling you. There's effort that people feel they have to go through in order to go to an event. You have to give friends. Now, here's the trick. And this is what I learned after having parties a lot, because I never had parties before. And I said, how do you do it? I'm a social coach, but I don't know how to have parties. Let me figure this out. You have to give friends personal, heartfelt invitations. Don't just mass Facebook invite or message people on Facebook. They won't respond most of the time. Make them feel as though they're truly wanted at your party. That's the secret. Now, phone calls work best. Call them up and invite them. Let them know you really want them to come. Do this with every one of them. Listen, you want to have a great party, you want to network, you want to date hot women very easily, you got to put in the work, guys. Text message is next. It's better to text somebody rather than Facebook message or Snapchat message them. Now, tell them what you want. If you lead them, it's much more easier for them to understand what the party is. Tell them, say, bring a friend. Say, bring as many friends as you want. Another thing is to follow up consistently with them. Don't tell them once 2 weeks earlier, a week earlier, and expect them to just be there. They won't. Follow up consistency. Their weekend plans could change instantly. When you keep on top of them, they will keep your party in mind and likely attend. Now, even though, still expect 10% of the people you invite to come. So invite 10 times the amount of how many people you'd like to attend. I'm being serious here. You really got to put in the work for this, but trust me, when you have a party and it's going well and everyone's having a great time, it pays off, man, seriously. And it's easy to have a party. You don't have to have tons of people. Have 10 people. Have 5 people. 8 people. Now I'm going to get into it here. Whew. Now I'm going to tell you, my parties, they got featured on late night news because of how interesting they were. Friday night live art parties. At the beginning, I was just curious about how to hold the party, so I tried it. The concept was exactly what I'm interested in, but I'm going to explain the iterations to you now. I started off just having friends meet up at a bar. I got it to happen. It worked. It was fun. And then I thought, my friend has this cool art studio that he kind of turned into a cool hangout spot. He wants people to come and see his art there and sell his art there. How about I take him up on his offer and have parties at his place. So we had parties at his place. What happened was I had as many people as I could possibly come. And I just bought tons of cheap beer and saw what happened. What happened? It was a bunch of kiddie hipsters that got wasted, ruined the place. It was packed. It was uncomfortable. It basically turned into a bar. Not good. So next, what did I do? Okay, so how do I fix this? Okay, 1, no more beer. It's only going to be cocktails and wine and champagne. As I refined it more, I said, okay, cool. I'm going to pay. I'm going to have people pay. I'm going to charge $5. You're not going to get shitty hipsters coming if they have to pay $5. What's the next thing? Raised it to $20. What's the next thing? And this is where the magic came. I said, what if every week, and I love coming up with ideas like this, what if every week a new artist comes and paints improv art on the spot as the party's happening? And what if these parties aren't just regular parties? They're dressed up, classy parties. There's a bartender, there's cocktails, there's wine, there's champagne, there's an artist being inspired by the room, creating a piece of art. And at the end of the party, he auctions off his art to people in the room. Becomes this cool idea. That's why it got so successful. It sold out every week. People paid $25 a person. I had a bouncer, and all I used to market it was a few event websites in New York, especially Nonsense NYC. Had it every week. It was super fun. Now here's the interesting thing. I invited all of the friends I was hooking up with, as well as the women in whom I was interested. Now here's the funny thing. I was blown away that they all competed to take me home at the end of each party. And after each party, I took someone home. Whether it was a new girl or a girl I knew. This was weird. I didn't know that this was a factor when you host your own parties. I invited girls that I was friends with, that I was hooking up with or not hooking up with, or girls I didn't even know. They all came, and, well, because I was the host and because I was networking with everyone there and, going around saying hi to people, flirting, girls were competing with taking me home. They saw that one girl was flirting, and then they go, ooh, it makes him look more attractive. They went up and they tried to flirt. Guys, only in my wildest dreams could this shit happen. But it happened. This stuff is magic. Like, listen, I need you to email me after you have your own cool parties and tell me the results. I really am excited to hear what your life is like after you do this. I'm so happy to be giving you this value. All right, here are some pictures of the parties that I held. As you could see from the top left, these are girls that actually came and they posted this picture on Instagram and tagged my parties. Cute, adorable women. Fun. I took another fun aspect of it is I took Polaroid camera and a lot of the time gave the picture to the people so they could remember the night. There I am right over there. Here's the artist painting a girl. Here's another artist. There we go. There we go. Guys, so fun. This is as nights would go deeper. A lot of people would leave, but a lot of people stayed. And that's when, it got real fun because it's the host. There's intimate conversations happening, real strong connections happening. Love it. Love it. It's all worth it. All that work to get people there, it's all worth it. There I am again. Old Crow. Who names your alcohol Old Crow? It's fun. They would go late into the night. Now, next, birthday parties and random celebrations. When I finished doing those art parties, I knew I could hold personal parties the same way. I knew how to hold a party. So I invited all friends and past women I dated and acquaintances and friends and everyone I knew to a joint birthday party, meaning a birthday party with my best friend. And we had a birthday party together. Many friends brought their friends, and I made new friends. Again, here are those parties. This was actually, the specific party right here was a Super Bowl commercial party. So I had people come and have a Super Bowl party based on watching the commercials. It went late into the night. After we went to some really great restaurant that was like crazy. And we had these, fishbowl alcoholic drinks. Does it look like I had to do any work here? Did it look like I had to have anxiety approaching people? No. Now, here's another party I had. Because the media was so into me, I had a ton of, production companies wanting to make a reality show out of my life, my job. And I filmed a pilot. And that pilot is going to be on TV. I'm going to have my TV show. Now, after I filmed the pilot, I had a reality show celebration. I just thought, another celebration? Always just come up with a reason to have a party. It's just great. So I replicated the birthday party system, and it ended up being more women than men. I actually had more women come to this party than men. And they brought their friends, people I didn't know. Now, in this one reality show party, I liked one girl in particular, and I told my friend that brought her about my interest in her the next day. I asked her to set something up. She gave me her number. I went out on a date with the girl. We hooked up that night, and then we started dating. Now, this girl was gorgeous to me, just beautiful. If I approached her on the street or at a club, do you think things would have happened that fast or as easily? No. But it's because I had a gatekeeper and because I was the host, things just happened more smoothly, baby. Can't wait till you use this stuff. Now, put it in big letters because this is the fun one. The Valentine's Day party. Now I'm realizing I had a ton of parties in New York. Woo! Okay, so the Valentine's Day party. Me and one of my good friends in New York, we came up with an idea. Why don't we have a singles Valentine's Day party and set it up as a high school theme with all cheesy pink hearts everywhere and everything? But here's the thing. Here's the lesson I want you to take from this Valentine's Day party. Get really creative. Like I said, you control the variables, people. And as long as you tell the invites exactly what's going to happen, if they come, they're into it. They want to do it. Now, guess what happened? In the description of the party, I said, well, this Valentine's Day party is for singles, and it's going to be high school based. So we're going to play Spin the Bottle. We're going to, play Truth or Dare. And I didn't know what women would do. I thought, it's all going to be, women being really uncomfortable and guys being like, let's hook up. I actually found, funny enough, this blew my mind. Women were more into playing Spin the Bottle than men. Men were kind of shy. Women were like, let's do this. Because it's interesting, when it's a controlled environment, when it's a controlled environment, when they know that the guys are cool. Two, when the girls know what they're getting into and there's a support system around them, they feel comfortable in being their sexual selves. Now, what ended up happening, we played Spin the Bottle. It just became a makeout party. There were no pecs, my friend. It was just full on makeout. So me and my friend, a couple of my other friends, just made out with all the women in the party. It was fun. and I had a client there. He took somebody home. My friend who hosted the party with me, it was at his apartment, and one girl stayed over his place that night. Now, how did I do this? Well, here is the interesting thing. I used Nonsense NYC and all the other places to advertise the party. Oh, I forgot to tell you this other thing. I charged, I think, like $10 or $20 a person to come. And here's the most funny part of it all. I made 2 ticket types. One is tickets for men and one tickets for women on Eventbrite. And then I made there a capacity. And I made the men tickets only one available. So there was only one man ticket available for this party. So only one guy was able to buy a ticket. And I made, obviously, the tickets for women unlimited. So it was all just random women that came to the party. And not only that, you would think that I was like, oh God, they're going to be ugly. They were all pretty. It was, once again, my mind was blown. And here's the funniest part. They all paid to come and make out with me and my friends. And they loved it. It was fun. They did it willingly. It's not like we forced anybody into doing this. But the big thing I really, really want to stress here, guys, is like, I know myself and I know my friends, so I don't have to like talk about this with my friends, but with you, I don't know you, and I'm sure you are a cool guy, but please do not use this for the dark side, the negative thing. Please do not be creepy, okay? Don't get girls in a room and be like, oh, it's now we have sex, like, have fun. Be innocent about this. This is fun. Like, they're willingly coming and having a fun time with you, an intimate time with you. Respect that, okay? But anyway, this is just showing you that the sky's the limit. Now, I used it on myself, but man, maybe you can't do this. Well, actually, there's a video that you're going to see sometime of a testimonial, a story of one of my most recent alumni named Jackson. And he, too, had a party, is having parties actively. And I taught him exactly how to do it. Tell you Jackson's experience. Well, what's Jackson into? Well, I gave him the exact recipe of what I do. And, well, I don't have the clip of him explaining it right now, but you're going to see it in another time. Sorry about that. He hooked up with a girl that night at his party. And now he's having parties every month. He's actually having a party this weekend. What's the party, you may ask? Well, I had him advertise on Nonsense NYC and set up tickets for a board games and weird record playing party. Like, that's really specific. Board games and weird music. Guess what? He got so many people to come to the party, he had to, like, not allow some people at the door. Some people didn't get tickets, and they just came, and they wanted to come anyway. And he was like, sorry, you can't come, because he only wanted, like, 8 people to come. He ended up hooking up with a girl that night at the party. She stayed over his place. Board games and weird records, because he loves weird records, and so he plays weird records. And like, people loved the idea. He also had one girl email and be like, yo, I can't come this weekend, but I love this idea so much. Can you please keep me on the mailing list for next week? He was like, I don't even have a mailing list. But now he knows he's going to start charging like $5 a party, not because he wants the money, but just because it's going to be a lot easier, because some people that were planning to come didn't come, and he wanted those people to come, so he's going to charge. It obligates the person. It makes them more likely to actually attend the party. Guys, this shit is magic.